Dairy and Krishna. How Food for Life Global is changing minds inside the Hare Krishna movement. Krishna is revered as the cowherd boy. Markanshore. He is affectionately known as the butter thief. Krishna and his brother Balaram would steal butter from the pots. Krishna worship goes back 5,000 years. The founder. At the age of 70, Srila Prabhupada founded the modern-day revival of Krishnaism, a lacto-vegetarian spiritual yoga movement, in 1966. He is credited with translating the ancient Vedic teachings into English. Sri Chaitanya, the most recent avatar of Krishna, promoted the equality of all life through the chanting of God's holy names and sharing pure food. This became the foundation of Srila Prabhupada's movement, known as ISKCON. Hare Krishna devotees are famous for chanting in the streets of major cities around the world. I know this because from the age of 19 to 33, I was a Krishna monk. I lived and breathed the tradition from the inside. The most famous religious scripture coming out of India is the Bhagavad Gita, which was spoken some 5,000 years ago by Krishna on the battlefield to his friend Arjuna. This is the principal scripture used by the Hare Krishna devotees. It literally means the song of God. The Yogi Diet. The conversation Krishna had with his friend Arjuna covers many topics, including the science of reincarnation, yoga, life after death, the eternality of the soul, karma, and the three modes of material nature, which specifically defines what a yogi should and should not eat. It is interesting to note that in Krishna's description of a yogi diet, he does not include dairy. Rather, he specifically states his devotee should only offer a leaf, flower, fruit, or water to him in devotion. To those familiar with the tradition, there is no question that Krishna holds a unique position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even those that worship other gods, demigods, like Ganesh, acknowledge that Krishna is the Supreme, but that these other gods are easier to please and get benedictions from. So the big challenge for animal rights activists and vegans is accepting the fact that despite all the data supporting veganism, the deity that Hare Krishnas and Hindus in general recognize as the supreme deity is a cowherd boy that likes to drink milk. Yes, they also believe this. This same tradition considers cows as sacred, the embodiment of all the demigods, angels, one of the seven mothers, and that cow milk is liquid religion. These are the cold hard facts of Hinduism and Krishnaism, and so any effective animal rights advocacy must start with these facts in mind. Believe me, you will not get anywhere attacking the legitimacy of Krishna or this very ancient tradition. What is required is acknowledgement of these facts while pointing out how the tradition has compromised its integrity in using commercial dairy. Food for Life Global was established in 1994. My animal rights advocacy inside and outside the movement began around this time. Food for Life Global was born from the Hare Krishna movement. However, our non-profit is now independently registered. In 1996, I invited Howard Lyman to address the American leaders of the Hare Krishna movement at their annual meeting, and his talk had a tremendous impact on all of us. In 1998, when I was living at the temple as a priest, I started to point out the hypocrisy of using commercial dairy in the daily temple food offering. I was the first devotee to refuse to use dairy to make the daily offerings to Krishna. Since that time, Food for Life Global instituted a policy to only promote and support vegan food distribution. Any Food for Life project that was not vegan was not recognized by Food for Life Global. You'll be happy to learn that Food for Life Global now has 210 projects in 60 countries, serving up to 2 million vegan meals daily. This is one of the kitchens in India, where tons and tons of rice are cooked every morning to provide meals for children at schools around India. After the meals are prepared, they are put in stainless steel containers and loaded onto trucks, and then delivered to underprivileged children throughout the country. They have a very diverse menu too. Changing attitudes. In 2013, I presented a 30-minute presentation to the leaders of the Hare Krishna movement in Europe on the hypocrisy of using commercial dairy in their temple offerings. This presentation continues to resonate, and you'll be happy to hear that the number of Hare Krishnas going vegan is growing daily, and this includes many Indian-bodied devotees, gurus, and temple presidents. The reality. The European Krishna leaders said in a statement afterwards, "We deplore the slaughter of cows and regard it as completely unnecessary for the dietary requirements of human society. We commit ourselves to a future when ISKCON's self-sustaining communities and/or slaughter-free farms are able to provide the milk requirements of our ISKCON communities and projects. Our preference will always be a lacto-vegetarian diet in accordance with the teachings of Srila Prabhupada." When facts are presented without unjust criticism and respect for the culture, you'll find that most Hare Krishna devotees are reasonable, appreciative, and willing to listen and keep an open mind. So what can we hope for when it comes to Hindus and specifically the Hare Krishna movement? That ISKCON will completely ban the use of all commercial dairy in their temples and only use excess milk from protected cows on their farms. That is the absolute best we can hope for. If you'd like to see changes in the Hare Krishna movement, please sign our petition.